Hi, I just wanted to quickly go over parallel structure notes. This is a really useful skill to have or something to know about when you're writing. Oftentimes people will forget or not use parallel structure when they are writing, and it's really something that you should do, you should have. Parallel structure deals with when you're writing out a list of items. So I like bacon, eggs, and cheese. Bacon, eggs, and cheese are the three items in a list, and usually there are commas separating each of those items. So what happens sometimes with parallel structure is that the words that are listed out are not in the same format, and that's what really bugs a lot of readers. So we do like to make sure that when we're writing, we're using parallel structure, and once you get it, hopefully it will be something that you don't really have to think about. So here are the notes. So parallel structure is using the same pattern of words to show that two or more ideas have the same level of importance. So the big thing is pattern of words. So you're using all of these things, and you're really looking at your items and saying, okay, one of these things is not like the other. This is where your knowledge of verbals is going to come in handy. So do you know the difference between a gerund, an infinitive, and a participle? Because oftentimes you're using in a parallel structure all gerunds, or you're using all participles or infinitives. So in this case, we're all using gerunds. Peter likes singing, that's a gerund. Dancing, that's another gerund. And fishing. And you see that those are all the same. They all look the same. The incorrect example would be Peter likes singing, dancing, and to fish. Now, we've used a gerund here, but this last one is an infinitive, to fish. And so that is one of these things that is not like the other, and that's the one we want to fix. And that's all parallel structure is making sure that each item in your list is the same as the others. And so I have these examples that you could write down and try to correct on your own. Number one is we cleaned the kitchen quickly, thoroughly, and with patience. You may need to pause as you write that down and try to fix it. Number two is Peter did several things well with his essay. He revised, checked his grammar, and his title was good. You can pause here and write that down. Number three is before the game, the coach told us that we should eat well, we should get plenty of sleep, and to do warm-ups. You can pause so you can write that down. Number four, the dictionary can be used to find these: word meanings, pronunciations, correct spellings, and looking up irregular verbs. Again, you can pause and fix that sentence. I'm going to scroll down now to the corrections that I have on these notes. So the first one is, I have to scroll more, I guess. We cleaned the kitchen quickly, thoroughly, and patiently. Instead of doing with patience, if you change that to patiently, now it looks like quickly and thoroughly. Number two, Peter did several things with his essay. He revised, checked his grammar, and wrote a good title. What I had written is he revised, checked his grammar, and his title was good. His title was good doesn't look like that past tense verb there. Revised, checked. So I need a past tense verb, which is wrote. Before the game, the coach told us that we should eat well, we should get plenty of sleep, and we should do warm-ups. To do warm-ups, the infinitive does not look like what the imperatives. We should eat, we should get plenty. Now note, you can take out the we should. If you have something that's repeated, so we should is used in all three of these. We should, and we should. You can take them out for the after you do it the first time. So you could just say the coach told us that we should eat well, get plenty of sleep, and do warm-ups. If that we should applies to everything in your list, then you don't need to repeat it. In fact, I always take it out. But here I just kept it in, I guess. And then the last one is the dictionary can be used to find these: word meanings, pronunciations, correct spellings, and irregular verbs is the correct answer. I had looking up irregular verbs, and that's a gerund, looking up irregular verbs, gerund phrase really. So irregular, I just need nouns: word meanings, pronunciations, correct spellings, those are all nouns. And so irregular verbs is another noun. And that's that. Alrighty, I did this under 5 minutes. Are you proud of me?